So you are thinking about moving to Chandler, Arizona, and why wouldn't you? Let me tell you, I called Chandler home. There's got to be a reason why over 250,000 people call Chandler home, and still more and more people want to buy here. Let's break down the top 10 things that I want to share with you. Don't go anywhere because I think all 10 of them have a valid point here. Number one, we're going to talk about jobs. The number one driver that people are moving because they have the freedom of choosing where they work now, or they can go to a place like Chandler, Arizona, and still make the money in some, as they did in some of these other high-tech areas. Now, when we look at these commute sheds for both Gilbert and Queen Creek, it tells you where the majority of the employment is coming from. It's mostly coming from Tempe, and those are a little bit older companies. And then in the 80s is when Intel moved here, and that's when we really saw a change in the Southeast Valley. We continue to see more than 250,000 jobs just in the city of Chandler. But again, living in the city of Chandler, you have obviously access to those, as well as all the big companies that are still in Tempe, downtown Phoenix, less than a half an hour away. Gilbert, we're starting to see a lot of security contractors, General Dynamics. We also have Northrop Grumman that has expanded out there. We also have Boeing, Falcon Field is out that way, and it just keeps going and going and going. And we have LG Energy coming into Queen Creek. All of this is in the Southeast Valley. So again, if you call Chandler home, the accessibility to millions, yeah, millions of jobs. I had to think about that for a second. In all the different directions is top notch. Also here, if you are an entrepreneur or a young tech savvy individual, you're looking for like a business incubator or innovation and pitch type of opportunities. Chandler is mirroring a lot of what we saw in Silicon Valley, which is why they call it Silicon Desert. So even if you don't necessarily need a job because you're moving here for a job and it's going to be in the Chandler area, know that if for some reason that were to change, there's a lot of other options in and around Chandler. That's why it's kind of that home base. All right, number two, the activities. Whoa, and I'm not even talking entertainment yet. That's going to be number three. Number two, the activities here in Chandler are endless. Whether you're talking about children or you're talking about adults, if you're talking about a social aspect, I am talking about all the downtown activities. Downtown Chandler is such a unique, historic town that has an enhancement organization that manages more than a dozen different festivals, cultural and food and dining and drinks and partying festivals smack dab in the middle of downtown Chandler. Not to mention that happens out at Tumbleweed Park, which is another place for massive festivals. We're talking about the Great American Barbecue. We're talking about the Ostrich Festival. Also, the community center has so many things going on. It is unbelievable. Again, for youth and for adults, they have art shows, they have spring camps, they have the most amazing things for kids. I'm talking like bricks for kids, Lego camps. That's right, we have a Lego land in Chandler. Also, we also have all kinds of STEM camps and activities and after school, and it's just unbelievable. The adventures of art. Art is a big thing in Chandler too. When you go down to downtown Chandler, the art down there continues to grow and grow. They are doing so many art walks and bringing in local artists, and they're painting the side of these old historic buildings like from the early 1900s. See, that's the difference about downtown Chandler. There's no new buildings in the historic district. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Also for activities, for if you're outdoorsy and you're athletic, there are softball teams that you can join. There's soccer teams. This is again for adults and for kids. There's football, and this was a football mom, baseball, volleyball. Boy, volleyball is ginormous. And I'll tell you, some of the best volleyball teams and camps are in the Southeast Valley. There are a couple of different directions. Again, if you call Chandler home, you have a lot of choices. There's tennis clubs, and are you ready for this? Pickleball clubs, indoor pickleball clubs. And pickleball's huge. It's huge everywhere, but let me tell you, in the heat or even in the rain or in the wind, it's kind of nice having that indoor pickleball choice. But there's a lot of outdoor pickleball choices too. All right, number three, I want to get straight into entertainment because let me tell you, this girl loves stimulation and having that fun and choices. And I'll tell you right now, in the heart, I call it festival season. In February, March, April of every year, you literally have 10 to 15 choices every weekend of what you're going to do. You got to pick which one is your priority. Let me tell you, on top of those festivals, and the festivals, are you ready for the festival? There's Taco Festival, there's a Pizza Festival, there's a Greek Festival, there's a Celtic Festival, there is an Asian Festival, there is, oh my gosh, I can't even think of all of them. We have, of course, our Western days, we have rodeos, it goes on and on. We also have Chandler Symphony. People don't even realize that we have a symphony orchestra here. And you know what? It's free. It's free to the public. You go, and when you go there, you can make donations. We also have casinos. We have not one, not two, but three casinos that are attached to Chandler on the Indian reservation. And one of those also has an amazing uh like concert theater center that's Rawhide. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. We also have an outdoor event place called Rawhide. It used to be located in Scottsdale and they opened it in Chandler. We also have movie theaters. Oh, not only regular movie theaters like AMC or Harkins, but we also have those sit down where you have a little bit of cocktail and the server comes up and brings you like fine dining. There's so many choices. There's several of those here in Chandler. We also have Center for Performing Arts. People don't realize that. We get some of the world class performers, and the tickets are ridiculously inexpensive. When I see the big headliners that'll play in like Vegas and LA, they stop through the greater Phoenix area. And even if you go to the major concert centers in the Phoenix area, some of these tickets are pretty pricey, $200, $300 a ticket. At the Chandler Center for Performing Arts, and that is a nonprofit, also locally managed by Chandler residents. The tickets are like 50, $60. Like I'm telling you, and it's right across the street from downtown Chandler. So how fun is that? Also, downtown Chandler is known as the single most live music destination in the entire greater Phoenix area. So if you like live music, Chandler has so much going on. It is insane. Number four, the reason Chandler should be on your list is proximity. Let's say you work in Chandler and you live in Chandler, but you want maybe different type of activities or different type of entertainment. Lord knows you're going to have a whole lot to choose from. But let's say you want to, again, pop up to downtown Phoenix. There's even more festivals that go on in downtown Phoenix and the convention centers down there. We also have all the major sports down there. Well, not all of them. Glendale. I don't know how they got the Cardinals, but that's the only team that's over there. The other ones are going to be in downtown Phoenix. We have the Suns, we have the Diamondbacks. What else do we have? We have spring training games. My favorite is the Cubs Stadium. It's one of the newest ones, and I have to tell you, you Chicago fans are the best. I'm telling you, it is so much fun. And the reason I'm bringing up all these things is because Chandler is like 20 minutes from everything that I just said. There's Tempe Marketplace, there's Old Town Scottsdale, there's you can go on South Mountain, you can do a ton of different hikes within 10 minutes, or you can also get over to Superstition Mountain in 30 minutes. You can get on the Tonto National, no, not the Tonto National. Yes, you can get to the Tonto National Forest, but you can get on the Salt River to go paddling. This girl is about ready to start the season, and that's going to be about 30, 35 minutes away. We are talking a million different choices for schools and shopping and dining. We're going to get all to that later. But here's the thing, guys. Chandler, even though it's in the Southeast Valley, I have to tell you, is one of the most central cities in the entire greater Phoenix area. If you look at this map, and let's pan out and let's show them, again, with Chandler having access to not one, not two, but three different freeways. We have the Interstate 10 that'll bring you straight down to Tucson or out to California. We also have the 202. The 202 is going to bring you through the entire Southeast Valley, all the way down to Gilbert, out to Mesa, up to the Red Mountains, to the Tonto National Forest, and back up to almost Scottsdale. We also have the 101 that's going to bring us straight up into Scottsdale, or we could also take a little road out that way from Scottsdale and hit Fountain Hills. It has freeways in every direct. Oh, I forgot one. That's 60. The 60, which is where the 10 and the 101 connect, that'll bring us out east. We can head out to Payson. We can go up to out to a lot of different areas that are further east, and I'm drawing a blank. No matter where you're going, it's like 30 minutes. So the most important thing for me anyways is freeway access and the proximity to airport if you are going to travel. It makes it super easy only having a 20-minute commute to the freeway. Number 5, this is what put us in Chandler, and that is the schools. Let me tell you, Arizona is not known for their tremendous schools, or I should say their tremendous public school system, but if you are looking for the best school district in the entire greater Phoenix area, it's in Chandler. So again, for that reason, there's 2 different school districts. There's actually Kyrene School District, that's going to be the west part of Chandler, and then there's the Chandler Unified School District. Although the Kyrene schools are still top notch, Chandler Unified is the top of where, in fact, my son and his wife insisted on being in Chandler Unified. Talk about having a long list of must-haves, but you know what? We didn't give up and we found the perfect home. Point is Chandler Unified and their middle school and their high school is stellar. Whether you're talking public schools, there's also a ton of charter schools. When you're talking like Basis or you're talking Legacy or any of the other charter schools that are out there, there is also a lot of choices for private schools in Chandler, and people don't realize that. The biggest one is Valley Christian, and then there's some smaller school of faith where there's New Vistas. These are really small schools. New Vistas, St. Mary's Basha, and also Seton Catholic. Those are about 500 students total, but there's a lot of choices. And if you're looking for that academic as well as the athletic program, let me tell you, the high schools here are top notch. I'm talking Perry, Chandler, and Basha, and Hamilton. 4 top state high schools that you will be very happy with. Number 6 is going to come in at medical. You're probably wondering, why haven't they got to the housing yet? Isn't this girl about real estate? There's a reason. So you're going to have to just wait. Number 6, we're going back to the medical. Number 6 is medical. Now, here's the thing. There are hospitals all over the greater Phoenix area, but one of the great things is when you have a huge medical campus, more than just the hospital, and have established areas, like for instance, Chandler, and I'm not saying it's the only place, but Chandler Regional has been around for a very long time. They've made massive improvements, and so it is just expanded. And let me tell you, the Trauma 4 Center there is second to none. Also, there is a new Banner Ocotillo Hospital, and in between these 2 major hospitals is every type of service, surgeon, healthcare, wellness that you could possibly imagine. When I had a little bit of skin cancer that I had to deal with a few years back, I had choices. I didn't have to just go to Scottsdale or to the Mayo Clinic. There were not 1, but 2 cancer centers, world-renowned cancer centers in Chandler, Arizona. When you need something, can you hear my dog? My dog's telling me I don't need a Ring doorbell. He's letting me know someone's at the door. Hey, puppers, I'm doing a video. So my point is having not just one resource nearby, but having multiple resources nearby makes a huge difference, especially if you're really going through something very traumatic for your family, and money, time counts. Number 7, this should have been near the top, but I'll be honest with you, shopping has changed a lot. So number 7 is my shopping. So let me tell you, first of all, indoor malls used to be the rave, right? So Chandler Mall was starting to become one of those dying malls that everybody else has seen across America. And I'll tell you, Chandler revived it. And you know what they did? They did 2 things. They made it a youth entertainment destination with everything from Crayola experience to all the outdoor games, the ginormous splash pad, and all the fun things that they do at Chandler Mall. But they also just added Shields, What shields? Oh my gosh. You got to see this place when you come to town. It is like an amusement park that you can buy everything, and everything comes at a price. Don't get me wrong. It has a Ferris wheel inside the store. You could spend a whole day there, and I'm telling you, my grandson absolutely loves going there. Every time we go there, it's a different adventure. They have a bowling alley in there, they have an arcade game, they have all the animals, and then of course, all the men going, "Arr, arr, arr," with
Ah,
the
ah.
guns and the hunting area and everything. It's really great people watching too. And for ladies, they even have like face stuff and clothes. And it's fun for the family. Not to mention you can get some taffy and fudge at their cute little candy store. Chandler's thought of everything. But here's the thing, that's not the only places to shop. I'm sorry, I was going off on a tangent. There is also the Chandler Pavilions, which is right off of Interstate 10. Right where I live in West Chandler, I have to say I'm super spoiled. I have a choice of either Costco or Sam's Club, literally 3 miles each direction. And this girl kind of likes Sam's Club better. So just saying. There is a ton of Home Depot. There's a ton of Lowe's. There's all kinds of different Sprouts, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's right here in Chandler. And I can go to two different Trader Joe's. Each of them are about 15 minutes to my house. I have a Whole Foods only 10 minutes to my house. I have probably four Sprouts to my house. So again, the proximity of everything. Here's the other thing, guys. We also have premium outlets. Did I say that right? Premium outlets. So if you are an outlet shopper, we also have this mega area right off of Gilbert Road and 202 that has, I mean, talk about shopping everything there, everything from the restaurants. There's also the Home Depot, there's a barbecue store there. Then there's also the home goods kind of things. There's Sprouts, there's like I could go on and on. There's all these different places. All I got to say, it's on Gilbert Road, but one side of the street is Chandler and one side is Gilbert. It has everything you can imagine. I'm thinking, does it have everything? Well, let me tell you, if you want for anything, it's probably just going to be five, the high-end stores. Like you're not going to find a Louis Vuitton there. Now, here's the other thing for shopping. Now, shopping is groceries. Now, here's something that Chandler has that no other city has yet. Mesa has a second, comes in second. If you are of Middle Eastern descent and you are looking for Middle Eastern grocery store, Asian grocery stores, restaurants, I went over there today. I got this video for you guys today because it blows me away. I haven't been over there on a Saturday. I usually do my filming on weekdays, and I have to tell you, it was packed. That just tells you we need more of these areas that have like a condensed area for all the different ethnic groups that are moving into Chandler. So if you are looking for a very diverse city in every way, people living in your street or the stores that are going to provide those services and amenities that you can't get everywhere else, if you're also talking about different houses of faith, if you're talking about different languages, if you're talking about different programs in different languages, Chandler is definitely at the top of the charts, guys. Just saying. Number 8 is coming in at dining. Let me tell you, I remember once upon a time, if you wanted nice restaurant, you had to go up to Scottsdale. Not so much anymore. Not only has Phoenix really become a culinary stop on the national map, but the city of Chandler specifically has some of the most amazing restaurants. Now, here's the difference. Depending on where you go in the greater Phoenix area, there are big corporations. Like if you don't know, Fox Restaurants is ginormous. And when you go to those really cool, trendy restaurants, they're not owned by a family or a chef. They are owned by a big corporation. Yes, they're amazing and over the top. But when you're really looking for something, and I call it mom and pop, and I don't mean mom and pop like they hand you a menu on a piece of paper, or it's a chalkboard. Like these are nice restaurants, but they are locally owned and operated. I'm going to give you my three favorite in the city of Chandler, and there's way more than three. The first one is the Hidden House in downtown Chandler. This has such a unique story. It was originally a little 1939 cottage house. And the current owner took this little tiny thing and built this amazing restaurant with some of the most amazing food and cocktails. Not only is the food and cocktails to die for, the ambiance inside and outside is something that you would normally see in Scottsdale. He really put Chandler on the map, and he now owns 3 different restaurants down there, but this one is my favorite of his 3. The second favorite restaurant in Chandler is called DC Steakhouse. This is also another mom and pop shop. This is a husband and wife that are originally from Wisconsin, and the only reason I remember all that is because they had cheese curds in their original little restaurant. Again, it was just a little tiny restaurant that they had started out, but I'm telling you, their steak and seafood was to die for. It was such a treat. And it was so odd to have such amazing food in this little tiny, I don't know, little tiny, I don't want to call it a hole. It was a little tiny restaurant. And all of a sudden, they had an opportunity. Downtown Chandler started to expand. There is a historic district in downtown Chandler, which is where the Hidden House is. And if you go a little bit south, that is where the new square, is what it's called, has opened up. So you see a lot of new construction down there. But here's the great story. The restaurants that are in the new square are locally owned. They're not these big corporate dollars. This is hard at work, mom and pop steak, seafood. They still, when I walk in there, they know me by name. I'm telling you, the ambiance is to die for, and the food and service is top, 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 top of my experience, and I have dined all over the world. I highly recommend DC Steakhouse. Now, my third favorite, only because it does have some of that corporate elegance that I think so many people love, and that is Cooper's Hawk. Cooper Hawk, is it Cooper's Hawk or Cooper Hawk? Let me look that up. Yes, it's Cooper's Hawk. Not only do they have spectacular wine, like, oh, remember, Arizona's not a huge wine place. So when you find wine in one place and you could do wine tastings with food and chocolate and you have a sommelier helping you out, like, again, it's a nice little treat. Whether you're just doing a couple girls for afternoon wine happy hour, or you're doing a special occasion and special occasion anniversary or birthday party, I am telling you, Cooper's Hawk is amazing. I love it. And they have several locations now in the greater Phoenix area. And we're so lucky that they are right in front of Chandler Mall. So those are my 3 favorite when you come to town. And then if you're looking for breweries, I have to tell you, there's one you've probably never heard of that I would highly recommend. Are you ready? Okay, you ready? You're going to write this down. It's called the Perch Pub and Brewery. It's going to blow you away. Little story behind that. That was also a home that was originally built like in 1915. She took this single family home when she bought it, she meaning the owner, when she bought it, the seller said, you have to take this cockatiel. I have no use for him, and it's part of the deal. So she was like, okay. And it actually came with, I think, 3 birds. These birds are beautiful. They're very hard to take care of. And most of the time they outlive their owners, right? So those 3 that she originally started with now is a full-blown bird rescue. She has more than 200 birds. What are they called? Not bird. What are they called? Uh, the big expensive birds. Anyways, she is a rescue now. And so when you go there during the day, it is a little loud, but they do go to sleep at night. So if you're looking for a more of a quiet and inviting environment, you're going to want to go in the evening time. The lights in the garden area are just unbelievable. And they also have the largest rooftop bar in the entire greater Phoenix area. I'm telling you, it's amazing. All of this in Chandler, how? It's a secret. Just say. Okay, number 9 is housing. And you're probably wondering why I saved it for number 9. Because I'll be honest with you, there's not a whole lot of fanciness in Chandler. Here's why. Chandler doesn't show real well, in my opinion. Chandler is just an older city. And styles have changed, colors have changed, the way we live our lives have changed. So if you are looking for something and more modern, you have to go outside of town. This is the same with any large metropolitan area. Chandler dirt has become very expensive. We are 98% built out. So if you're waiting for like a new master plan community coming, it's not. But here is a community called Treeland, and I have no idea why they called it that because there's not a lot of trees. They didn't even finish the front yard landscaping on these finished homes. Not super thrilled. Anyways, this is being built by TriPoint. These are just under $1 million. And I want to hear what you guys think about it. Beautiful. This is your room, huh?
Just hang like a little blanket over there and then get rid of it.
Uh-huh. Housewarming party. Lots of friends. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. Guys, if you want newer construction, there are still a lot of great communities in the Chandler area that have so much to offer. If you are thinking about lakefront or waterfront, I should say, waterfront properties, there are more water communities in the city of Chandler than anywhere else in the greater Phoenix area. So if that's something you're looking for, if you are looking for larger lots, if you are looking for, I kind of hesitate here because again, people have these new construction concepts. Everybody calls me and says, I want Toll Brothers and I want to live in Chandler. Well, those two things don't go together. So let's talk about the rest of the housing. And that is that if you go north of 202, That's going to be the original founding Chandler. These are going to be older, smaller homes, smaller rooms, not the open living lifestyle. But you have to, as the buyer, as the homeowner, you have to weigh out, do all the other positives, being close proximity and choices and activities and entertainment. Does that make a difference for you? For me, I live in north of 202, and I live in an area that you might drive down my neighborhood and go, no, I don't like it. I don't like these houses. But let me tell you, 2 years ago, I completely remodeled my house. You have to buy an older home and retrofit it to what you want, or buy something that someone else has already done that. And there are opportunities in the Chandler area. If you go south of 202, there's a lot of really nice communities, and that's where a lot of these water communities are located. There's way too many to list, so you're just going to have to give us a call, and we're going to walk you through based on your price point, because they are in high demand. They are truly beautiful. Let me tell you, there is a huge difference too when you are driving through or walking through, your dog, your child in a stroller. When you are in a mature community that has beautiful tall trees and big bushes and lakes and ponds and the geese that come back every year and the ducks and you don't get that in new construction. So when you do buy new construction, that might be something that'll happen in 20 years. That's how old these communities are. So again, you got to pick and choose. What do you want? If you want those tilt roof, straight lines, super new, modern, industrial, that's not really Chandler. I'm not a fan of Chandler housing, and I'm being honest. It's hard to find a really nice house in Chandler. We can do it, but it's hard. Okay, number 10. You're waiting for the 10. And the big thing that I love about Chandler and what sets Chandler apart from all the other cities is the diversity. And I do mean in every possible form, from employment to entertainment to ethnicity to race to all the fair housing protected classes. You have the biggest camaraderie in a community in the city of Chandler. And I love being a part of that. And if you would like to also be a part of it, you're just going to have to pick up that phone. Give us a call. Shoot me a text, send me an email. I want to hear from you. My focus is on my channel here is to tell you the good and the bad of every single area. And I'm brutally honest, this girl's got no filter. So give me a call, shoot me a text, send me that long email with your story. I want to hear from you. So how do I say this?